Зуб болит в ночах.
Если вы смотрите это видео, значит вы изучаете английский язык. Причем изучаете очень интересным способом. Потратив
Дайте угадаю. Вы слишком заняты, чтобы смотреть эту рекламу. Так же, как вы были слишком заняты, когда нужно было учить английский?
Now, if you are a professional juggler, please don't judge me because I'm probably doing it with all the wrong forms. One of the hard things about playing the piano is you have to do it fluently with both of your hands. Only 1% of the world population are ambidextrous, which means they're equally skilled in using their right and left hand. I've taught students like this before. It's really bizarre. They write with their right hand and then they can play tennis with their left hand. I certainly am not as skilled. I personally am right-handed like most of the world, and I've always been interested to see how I can improve my right hand to be as skilled as my left hand. Hi everyone, I'm Jayza. In this video we're going to talk about how to make your left hand as good as your right hand in piano playing. I have 4 ideas for you to try in this video, so make sure that you stick to the end to watch all 4 ideas because you might really find some gold nuggets in here. Before we get to the 4 ideas of how to make your left hand as good as your right hand, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel so you stay in touch with these free piano tutorials and lessons. Idea number 1 is to try to use your left hand more in life. Now, one of the simple ways I did that was by using the whisk. So when I'm making pancake mix or whatever, I used to use my right hand all the time because it's my dominant hand, but then these days I'm trying to use my left hand more because this action is not so complicated that my left hand can't do it, and I'm sort of giving my left hand some baby steps, right? So just using my left hand to do these kind of simple actions. Another idea would be for forks. So for forks, when you're grabbing like fruits or something, you don't have to use your right hand. Sometimes you can just go and use your left hand, just so you start to utilize it more and build more neural connections so you get some better control of doing left hand things. Now, on this topic of trying to use your left hand more in life, I have a bonus activity for you to try. I'm not going to teach you how to do this, but it's certainly something you can try, and it's this. Now, if you are a professional juggler, please don't judge me because I'm probably doing it with all the wrong form. But I tried to learn how to do this because I wanted my left hand to cooperate with me more. When I was trying this at the start and I was doing sort of simple actions like this, I realized that it was so much easier to do even just to throw and catch with my right hand than my left hand. You know, when I do it with my left hand, it sort of feels really rigid and robotic. So I tried to learn how to juggle, and learning how to juggle has given me lots of coordination points for my left hand, and I'm starting to feel more control in this weaker hand. Now, the point I'm trying to make here with using your left hand more in life is that when piano players experience that they're having weak left hands, it's not so much, I think, a piano-specific problem, but it's more of a life problem. It's that we're simply not getting the same amount of practice in our left hand as our right hand, right? You think about it, you use your right hand to do so many things, to shake hands, to write, when your left hand is like basically doing nothing the whole day. So try your best, guys. See if there are simple things in your life that you can start to incorporate your left hand. Idea number 2 for making your left hand as good as your right hand is to try to play right hand melodies with your left hand. Now, I'm going to try a few pieces here on the piano. I won't tell you what they are. If you know what they are, comment down below. I'll probably get them all wrong, so let's see if they are easy to discern. Oh, that's not easy. Let's try that again. Much better. Or what about something like... Or perhaps... Now, this is quite an interesting exercise. You're going to find this really, really weird to play the right hand melody with your left hand, but it is something interesting to do. It is something that brings your left hand a little bit out of its comfort zone. Left hand generally in piano is playing a whole bunch of chords and accompanying patterns. And to give the left hand this important melodic line is it's not easy to do, and to play phrased as well, phrased and musically, that's even harder. Okay, moving on to idea number 3. Idea number 3 is to keep your left hand fingers low at all times. Now, what am I talking about here? Now, when you're playing your left hand, let's say you were playing the Alberti bass on C, so what I see lots of beginners do is they do something like that. Their fingers sort of fly up when they're not playing that specific note. And what I want to encourage you to try to start to do is to just keep them really grounded and low. Do you see that? I'm sort of just, it's almost like the fingers are always in contact with the keys, right? It presses, and when it comes up, it still actually is still in contact with the key bed. Okay, now the reason this is so important is because when your fingers are always on the key bed, it means you're controlling it well. Now, if you're playing the Alberti bass and your fingers are sort of flying all the way up, it actually means 2 things. Firstly, it means it's out of control, okay? And secondly, it also is causing a lot of tension in your arm. Okay, so when you're doing a whole bunch of this, it's going to cause heaps of tension and prohibit you from playing for long, because you're going to get so tense and you kind of have to take a break. So try your best to keep your fingers low. It's going to be challenging, I promise you that, but the more you do it, the more you're going to start to feel like you have this control of it, right? Like I was saying earlier in the video, you're building this neural connections from your left hand to your brain, and the more you attempt to do these kind of difficult and small controlled movements, the better you're going to play the left hand. And moving on to our last idea number 4 is to practice exercises. Now, I have recommendations for both beginners and also intermediate or advanced students. For beginners, I definitely recommend the Hanon. So now, I played really fast there, but please go at a pace that's more comfortable for yourself. And please remember the thing that was said earlier in this video. So when you're practicing the Hanon, right, even if it's just for the left hand, just make sure that especially your thumb and your pinky, they're not flying up really randomly, okay? So you don't want to do something like this. Beginners that are playing this, you might find that it feels really wobbly when you practice at the start, but what I want you to try to do is to keep them super duper grounded, okay? So see that? It's like the thumb is never really leaving the key bed. And for the intermediate and advanced students, I have an idea for you. I recommend you to study the Bach Prelude in C minor, so the one that sounds like this. Now this piece really helped me to build some good control for my left hand. So when you're starting to play this piece, make sure you are keeping those fingers low. Okay, so every time the thumb flies up, it's out of control. You want to keep it low and keep it. And there you go, guys. Those are the 4 ideas I have for you to make your left hand as good as your right hand. Do you have any ideas for making your left hand as good as your right hand? Let me know in the comments below, please. I'm very interested. Remember to like and subscribe to this video. I'll catch you in the next video.
Эй, так это на днях было. Хичкок.
Ваш ребенок часто зависает в Ютубе, ТикТоке и компьютерных играх, и вы устали с этим бороться. Мы превращаем любовь к гаджетам в крутой и полезный навык. Меня зовут Максим, и я преподаю в онлайн-школе программирования Кодла. У нас ребята от 8 до 17 лет занимаются программированием, созданием сайтов и созданием игр. Приглашаю вас.
Да, смешно, кстати, вообще чего.
Привет. Ты преподаешь игру на гитаре, но уперся, как какой-то стеклянный невидимый потолок в доходе. Ученики то приходят...
Друзья, хочу вам предложить начинающий...
Dominica, bah, si je devais faire ça manuellement, tout le monde peut s'inscrire quand il veut, bah, évidemment, ce serait difficile enfin, je passerais mes journées à faire ça. Donc c'est complètement automatique. Donc il faut attendre 30 jours à la minute près, et comme ça, tu as le module qui va s'ouvrir. Donc Stéphane, je ne sais plus exactement à quel moment tu t'es inscrit. Je peux regarder, évidemment, parce que j'ai la possibilité de voir les dates d'inscription de tout le monde. Et en fonction de ta date d'inscription, bah, tu calcules 30 jours. Donc évidemment, quand c'est le mois de février, tu dis, bah tiens, on est déjà au mois de mars, bah oui, mais il n'y a que 28 jours au mois de février. Enfin voilà, c'est simplement ça, quoi. Donc là, tu t'es inscrit le 12 juillet, donc le 12 août, tu vas avoir accès au module 2. Donc sachant que si tu as déjà tout fait et que tu as encore du temps, tu peux, vu que tu fais partie de la formule yacht qui inclut les agoras, et ben, tu peux voir aussi la rediffusion de toutes les agoras précédentes depuis le début. C'est un énorme cadeau que je fais à tous ceux qui s'inscrivent à la formule yacht. La formule yacht, c'est les modules de cours, plus le répertoire des morceaux, plus le prof en direct, chaque semaine. Et donc tu peux revoir la rediffusion de toutes les agoras. Donc tu as beaucoup de choses que tu peux faire et c'est très enrichissant. D'accord ? Donc, ensuite, bonsoir Ghost Takanawa, j'ai une question concernant les accords, qu'appelle-t-on le voicing? Ah ouais.
Recording with it now currently, so I'm like, okay, you can just keep that, but it's a really fine microphone for sure.
But the thing is there's you know, as Steinbeck said, you know, $50 for a USB that's omnidirectional, $20 to plug in, and so you can start at every level and every budget.
Yep.
Just to get that higher level sound than because what's going to happen if you're using the microphone on your computer or your camera or any of those is it's far away from you, for one, because you have
position,
and it's going to pick up your air conditioner sound, your heater, the fan. You know, I have a fan running next to
in the background,
the dog barking, all of those things because of its positioning and just because of the kind of microphone it is. And so it's going to grab everything. And so that's where you can really start to kind of plan that out and choose your budget. And if your budget is small, start small. And, you know, as you are continuing to live stream and continuing to profit off of that, then you can say, okay, now I'm going to set my eyes on this next microphone that I got my eyes on.
That's
and
right.
work towards
And
that.
one other thing I would say to that, run some audio tests. Actually, I just did that this morning because, again, going back to my setup, I have my microphone running through a Rodecaster, and I was running some processing on my Rodecaster, and I wasn't happy with it. I introduced some ground noise in the signal, and I literally went in StreamYard and recorded myself several times with different settings, and I would listen back. I'm like, okay, so this is why, and this compression not good, and this audio, you know, input level too high. So I was kind of trying to diagnose my problem so that I eliminate some of the issues that I was like experiencing.
Канал Seven Rus. Мне понравилось, что Мэн на этом канале делает прохождение и проводит стримы по Сталкеру и другим играм с вебкой. Все на высоком уровне, так что вы будете всегда переживать вместе с автором происходящее на экране. Канал Seven Rus рекомендую, и ссылочка будет в описании.
Хай-пиплы — это 10-я, так сказать, юбилейная часть сталкера по стелсу, и еще более знаменательно то, что она будет в лаборатории X10. Магия чисел все же была не в мою пользу, так как сотни попыток и десятки часов, потраченных на перепрохождение такой небольшой лаборатории, изрядно подшатнули мою веру в то, что пройти весь сталкер по стелсу — это реально. Около 30 монолитовцев в замкнутом помещении, очень близко друг к другу, и добрая половина из них — мастера в экзоскелетах, поведение которых предсказать даже Ванге не дано. В общем, давайте смотреть, а в конце я выскажу свои мысли о дальнейшей судьбе серии. В общем, мы с вами уже в лаборатории X10, великая ужасная. Пройдемся с вами, соберем все возможные гранатки. Вначале, пока мы не отключили выжигатель, особых опасностей не предвидится. Здесь только 3 кровососа. Вы их можете пробежать, а можете и убить. Никакой разницы не будет, потому что после отключения выжигателя они по скрипту будут убиты. Собственно, набираем с вами код для двери, где лежат 5 гранаточек, лимоночек и бронебойные патроны с аптечками. Лимонки нам очень пригодятся, собственно, и бронебойные патроны я тоже решил прибрать. Аптечки мне, нафиг не нужны, потому что у меня дофига просто научных аптечек. Собственно, вот вы видите, выбрасываю сразу не бронебойные патроны, раз уж у меня накопилось только бронебойных. Гранатки, артефакты. Я нашел еще много их здесь, но вырезал. Даже вот видите, что подствольные были, но мне их использовать некуда. В замедленной сумке вы видите сейчас 4 необычных РГДшки и 16 лимонок в итоге насобиралось. В дальнейшем мы будем ходить и собирать с трупов монолитовцев, которых убьем, также гранатки. Так что не стесняйтесь, собирайте, может быть, пригодятся. Здесь мы с вами обязательно сохраняемся перед отключением выжигателя и смотрим тот самый муви, который меня просто охренеть как задолбал за все время прохождения.